Hi, my name is Amanda Herman, and this is going to be my sheep brain dissection. Okay, to start, my brain kind of fell apart, so I'm just going to do it parts right now. So this is the frontal lobe right here. The frontal lobe is important for voluntary movement and expressive language. And then going into the partial lobe, which is right here. The partial lobe is for like sensory and perception, and then like taste and hearing, smell, and all that. And then the temporal lobe right there. It's associated for like processing auditory information, and then it also deals in memory. The occipital lobe, I believe is how you pronounce it, which is the back part right here. Its primary responsibility is vision. And then the gyri and suclei, so that's going to be these parts right here and there, and so they're interwoven. So each like gyri is surrounded by a suclei, and then together they help increase like the surface area of the cerebral cortex and form brain divisions. Sorry about this, I'm also kind of sick right now. This is going to be the longitudinal fissure. The purpose is to separate the brain into two hemispheres, a left and a right. And then there's going to be the lateral fissure, which is kind of what happened to mine. It's like broken into half right here. It separates or it's going to be like right there. Right there. It's going to separate the temporal lobe from the frontal and partial lobe. The corpus callosum, that's going to be this white line right there. That ensures both sides of the brains can like communicate and send signals to each other. And then the thalamus, which is going to be just below that, like right here, this area, thalamus. It relays sensory information and motor skills, as well as regulation of consciousness and like alertness. The hypothalamus, which is going to be the bottom, oh, sorry, you can't even see, the bottom portion right here. That function is like to maintain like the body's internal balance. The midbrain, which is going to be underneath, it's like a whole portion of it in the hemispheres. It controls motor movement, and then eye movement, and I think auditory and visual processing. Okay, I'm grabbing my other part of my brain. Again, my dissection didn't go too well, so this is the second part of it. This is going to be the medulla oblongata, I believe is how you pronounce it, right here, this part. It plays a role in transmitting signals between like the spinal cord and the higher parts of the brain. And then white matter, which is going to be like, oh no, first cerebral cortex. So this is the cerebellum. And it's made up of the cerebral cortex. Its main involvement is consciousness. And then white matter, which are these, if you see these like little tree-like things, that's white matter. It affects like learning and brain functions, as well as like, I think distributing like action potentials. And then the meningeus, I believe is how you pronounce it. This is the dura matter, but the meningeus, it is to protect, its like main function is to protect the brain and spinal cord. Meningeus like is in the dura matter from like mechanical trauma, and then I believe it supports like blood vessels, and it also deals with cerebral spinal fluids. It passes it throughout it. So that's my dissection. Thank you.